Hello guys, it's Zenzo. Welcome to the first video of our AIM series. In this series we're kind of just going to be going over how to get better aim, more consistent aim, that kind of stuff on controller. So this first video is going to mostly just be about trying to find a sensitivity that is good for you, what sensitivity is best for you. Our next video is probably going to be a movement or more just aiming specific stuff. I think we're going to have a movement guide eventually, part of this series. Yeah, so this series is kind of just like how to be a better player, I guess. But this video is about finding the specific aim that's good for you. So for this video, we're going to break it down into 3 sections. So the first section is going to be controller. Second section is going to be tendencies. And then third is going to be performance. So for section 1, we're going to start with what kind of controller do you use? That very much depends on what you're trying to get out of it, right? If you're just having a game or two with your buddies after work, every once in a while, you just want to have a little bit better aim, I get it. Stick to just a normal PlayStation controller or Xbox controller. If you're somebody like me who plays game battles and likes to play ranked and is a little bit more competitive, I would suggest maybe getting a Scuff, Battle Beaver, Cinch controller. There's a whole bunch of them out there, just something. Having the ability to change out your joysticks like I have on the Scuff Reflex that I have is very nice. I currently use 2 stock PlayStation 5, but just being able to have the option to select something else is great. It's not a must-have, just something to think about because these controllers are a little bit better than stock controllers, so you're going to have that little bit more fine-tunement out of them. Which leads us into stick type. If you do have an aftermarket controller, give it a test. Buy a couple different size joysticks. If you have bigger hands, I would suggest either getting one that has a wider surface area on the joysticks or a taller joystick. If you have smaller hands, I would stick to just the normal ones, or if you can find something that's wider, maybe try that. And the normal joysticks work good for me. If you're a bigger person, try taller sticks, wider sticks. Smaller person, go with the smaller sticks or just the normal ones. So that leads me into control freaks. If you have a normal controller or you don't want to have to buy new actual joysticks, you could get Control Freaks. There's a couple other brands that make stuff similar. You see it floating all around everywhere. Currently right now I'm rocking 2 normal PlayStation 5 controller thumbsticks that are offered by Scuff. I think they're a little bit different. Let me see. They are a little bit different than the stock normal ones that come on the PlayStation 5 controller, but pretty similar. I was using a Control Freak for a while that was making my thumbstick a little bit wider. I did like that, but after a while it started to get irritating to me, so that's why I took it off and removed it. Remember, it's all about comfortability, making sure you're comfortable. Now we're going to talk about tendencies. Tendencies are something that you can, if you can catch on to the pattern that you're having, be corrected very easily. So the biggest thing with your tendencies is if you're over aiming, so you're trying to snap to this target and you go here instead of there. You want to just boom, be in the general vicinity every time. You don't want to be over aiming. You want to be pretty close to centered every time. If you're under aiming, so you're going like this and you're only moving that far, you're not even getting far enough to reach them, I would recommend bumping your sensitivity up if you can. Whereas if you're having the overflick problem, you want to bump your sensitivity down. You got to keep in mind too the range. What range are you at? Are you at close range and you're over shooting people? Then at far range, you must really not have great aim. But if you have good aim at long range with that sensitivity, but not so much up close, try going down just one sensitivity, something close. It's really about the mid to longer range gunfights. You can really easy aim train yourself up close. It's the range that really matters. You got to be able to hit people. If I can hit people this close all day right up in here, so can the guy that can shoot me at medium range because he just practiced for it. Right? So the biggest thing for me that I think is you should try and find a sensitivity that you're pretty good at long range, because long range is the most difficult. I would say if you're going to go based off that, I would prefer to be over aiming like so, a little bit off, than under aiming, because then my sensitivity is going to be too slow close range. Whereas if I have something where, sure, maybe I'll miss a few bullets, but it's a little faster and I can snap on easier, but I'm not over crazy and I'm not, trying to adjust and I can't even get there. So you want to try and find that sensitivity where you'll be over aiming a little bit at long range. That feels really good for your movement, and you feel like you can play the game how you want to play the game. Then try and rock that. The next thing I'm going to say is it's also based off your role. If you're an AR player, you might want to play lower sensitivity. If you're a flex player, maybe more in the middle. And then a submachine gun players most of the time play higher sensitivities. At the end of the day, it's all about comfort, all about what feels right for you. I play a very high sensitivity for being an AR player. I do. But it's what's comfortable for me and what I prefer to play, because it allows me to feel like I'm able to move around and do all the movements that I need to do while still being able to be accurate at long range. Next, we're going to go to performance. This is section 3. Play bots. People don't want to do bots. People always want to do the challenges. They just want to do all their challenges all day and just not, play with the guns that they're going to be using in ranked play and in competitive. You have to shoot bots. The more bots you do, the better you're going to be. Bots are so good for aim training. They're so good for it. They're not going to shoot back, so all you got to work on is your tracking and your flicking aim, which we'll be covering in separate sections coming up soon. Another thing is make adjustments, but don't make too many adjustments. I would say probably sensitivity change 1 to 2 times after you watch this video is probably going to be normal, but after that it should be very, very minimal. Not even one sensitivity that can throw your aim off. If you're doing bots, and you change sensitivity, all that other training is not... It's not going to be as useful as it was, because now you change your sensitivity, so you're throwing that all off. So just make sure you don't switch too much, because that can really stunt growth on aim. So, what did you guys think of the video? If you guys got any questions, concerns, any of that, either leave it in the description. Feel free to join our community Discord, which will also be linked down in the description. Keep an eye out for the next couple of videos. Hopefully I can have a ranked player or something set up for you guys next. But I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Make sure to follow, subscribe on Twitter. Or subscribe and follow on Twitter. Gosh. But yeah, hope you guys can improve. And just remember, it takes time. Do your bots, 20, 30 minutes every day, and you'll see improvement. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.